Hello everybody, my name is The Strange Eli, and like I promised, this is going to be my Q&A. I didn't get any questions on my Detective Comics 573 review video, so I decided to just kind of go on the internet and find some for me to use on my own. So I guess without further ado, let's get right into it. Where do you live? I'm not going to tell anyone specifics, not that I'm worried about, like, I'm not famous or anything, so I'm not worried about people like coming to my house and like trying to find me. But just for personal reasons, I live in Washington State, and that's as much as I'm gonna say. Why do you do YouTube? So when I first started doing YouTube about 6 years ago, I did it because, really actually just because I wanted to like be able to like and favorite people's videos and stuff like that, and be able to hold on. Excuse me. When I started YouTube, I wanted to be able to just like and favorite people's videos and stuff like that, and I wanted to be able to give ratings and stuff like that. So I kind of got it for that originally, and then it kind of moved on to I wanted to make videos. So I made some videos, and you can go ahead and watch some of those. Those are not good, but I kept them on there because sometimes I like to go back and laugh. But now it's not at all about being famous or going viral or being a YouTube celebrity or anything like that, but every time that I see a rewind or I see a like Markiplier has Markiplier Sings Badly channel, makes like these big productions, I guess, for his subscriber milestones. It makes me understand that there's a community of people, and I wanted to be a part of that community. So it's really just about wanting to be part of the community. What are your hobbies? So, as you might know from my comic book reviews, one of my biggest hobbies is reading comic books. In fact, I went to Olympia today, and I got some comics, because there's some really big comic book stores up there, so I had to take part of the opportunity. Aside from that, I love playing music. I play the guitar a lot, which you can see my skill level way back in the day in some of the previous videos. I want to become a director, and so making things and writing scripts and screenplays and filming things is really one of my biggest hobbies, and so that's kind of another reason why I'm doing YouTube, is because I wanted to make videos. Who is in your family? I have my dad, Mark, and my mother, Melody, and I have a half-brother named Chad. As far as nuclear family, that's kind of as far as it goes, but even then, my half-brother does not live with me. What do you use to record videos? I use the little thing here so I know exactly what the name is. I use a Canon Vixia HF-R50, and every once in a while I use a shotgun mic to help with the audio. Right now I'm not using it, but in my comic book reviews I do use that, so maybe you'll be able to tell the difference with that. How long does it take for you to create and edit videos? Recording process is just however long it takes for me to get what I want. When I write something, when it's scripted, then it starts going into like hours upon hours and hours. Obviously there's a lot of writing the script, looking at the script, editing the script, making sure that everything's okay. And then there's the actual shooting process, which can take hours. Even if it's just like a minute long, it could still take hours because you have to edit that stuff down. And there's the whole setting up of shots and stuff like that. And because I want to be a director, there's a lot of me trying to be a control freak and wanting to direct people and show them where they need to put the camera and stuff like that. So that can take a lot of time. The editing process, again, depends on how long the video is. For this might take an hour to edit, but only because I am using Windows Movie Maker on a computer that is kind of old, so it takes a while for things to move around and the video to render in and stuff like that. So, and then the upload process takes 10 minutes, and there it is. And then while I'm uploading the video, that's when I usually make the thumbnail, or when the video is actually rendering. Usually while watching someone else on YouTube with an iPad or something like that. What do you enjoy making videos of most? as you can probably tell with the getting cold medicine video, really just anything. Sometimes they're scripted, sometimes they're not. Sometimes they come up on the spot. My video, Silent Night, which I came out with on Christmas, I believe, or around there, was just my buddy Zach came over and I was like, here, I just want to shoot something, and my parents are asleep, so let's try to make it as quiet as possible. And that's why the video is kind of centered around a monster that feeds off of sound. And while that's a lot of world building stuff that doesn't really get covered in the video, that's what it's supposed to be. And that's why there's the title Silent Night. Sometimes, so that's something that is just sort of coming out of the spot. A lot of my videos have just been sort of like whatever just comes out at the moment. Scripted videos, I think my best one would probably be the lithium commercial I did, or I don't know off the top of my head. And then just whatever. Like I said, the getting cold medicine one really was just, I was really sick, and I was just like, you know what? It would be really fun if we just filmed it. I'm just gonna film me driving there and getting the cold medicine, and it was a lot of fun because I was like, hey, is it okay if I put the camera, like is it okay if I film in here? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna set the camera on the conveyor belt. She's like, do you want me to move it? And I was like, yep. And so that's where I got that cool tracking shot that I actually really like in that video. So yeah, just kind of whatever. I prefer doing scripted stuff just because I like to have a little bit of control and a little bit of a plan beforehand, but just really whatever. What is the funniest thing to happen to you either this year or in your life? Something that's really bad about me that I really dislike is I actually have a really horrible memory, and I don't remember things that well. So specific details I'm not that great about. But I do remember, if I'm just gonna like pick one out of the sky, I don't even know if this is the funniest one, but something that was really funny is I was with my cousin, and this was when I lived in Michigan a couple years ago. I was with my cousin and my babysitter at the time, because I was very young, and we were having a conversation about snails that were in the water that would bite your toes, and for some reason we just laughed about that for so long. It was so funny to us, and we were just dying. We had abs at the end because we were laughing so hard, and tears were streaming down our face, and then at the end when we were done laughing, it was, you know, so, I think my babysitter at the time like pulled out her phone, and she was like, we've been laughing for 3 hours about nothing, and it just made us laugh even more because it was so ridiculous. But yeah, that was pretty funny. What is your favorite console game? I'm gonna cheat a little bit here because this was originally a PC game and then was kind of ported onto PlayStation, Xbox, stuff like that. Not the originals, I mean like PlayStation 3, Xbox, and Xbox 360, I believe. And that is Portal. Portal is my #1 favorite game of all time. It has a perfect blend of puzzle and atmosphere, and it has a great storyline, and I became so obsessed with it afterwards that I like would go and like research theories and like in the world and stuff like that, and I knew so much about Aperture Science, and which is the fictional science labs inside the game if you haven't played it, and it just like, when Portal 2 was announced, I was like so excited, and I pre-ordered that game, and I got it the day it came out, and I just played it, and it was just like, yes, and I can play Portal in like an hour. Like I can just get it done. Like it's such a good experience. It's a great game. If you have not played it, please play it. What is the worst console game you've ever played? I think that if I had to choose one, a game that I kind of had a sour experience with would be Twisted Metal, the PS3 kind of like reboot that they were trying to pull off. The story was fun. I played it with my buddy Zach, and that's why I feel like I have a little bit of a bias, because I think if I played it by myself I would have hated it even more. But it just like, it was kind of just the same thing over and over again, and it's just, there was no content to it. And then like later on, after he'd left, it was the last day of my rental because I didn't buy the game, and I so I went online to see if I could do some online just vehicular manslaughter, because back in the day when X-Play was a thing, which is a TV show, that was sort of like what they kind of advertised about it, was this like, you know, this online combat multiplayer, just killing each other with vehicles, and it sounded like super fun, and I just tried for hours and hours and hours to connect to a match or a lobby or something like that, and I couldn't get it, and it would never work, and so I just had kind of a damper about that game. So I guess that's the worst console game I've ever played. The most embarrassing thing you've ever done. Something that I still sometimes think about back on and cringe was way back in the day. I had this friend named Hayden who was like my best friend, and this is a sort of story about me being a control freak, but it was his birthday party. I think it was during 5th grade, so he might have been 11, 12, I don't know. And so he was gonna do a dance off, and it was awesome. It was a lot of fun, but I tried to then control the rules of the dance off, and everyone just sort of was like, "Alrighty then, we're gonna go away." And so it was just really embarrassing. It was when I think back on, like, when in the moment it felt fine, but when I think back on it, I'm like, that's probably why I'm not invited to parties anymore. Best trick you ever played on someone? I wouldn't really say this is a trick. I kind of spooked someone. I gave them a little jump scare. So about a year ago maybe, I was with this girl named Autumn. She's my ex now, but I was dating her at the time. And I was chasing her around the house, and her room, bathroom, office, and then the living room were all sort of connected in this like loop. So I was chasing her around, and she went one way, and I came back the other way, and so I was in her room behind a dresser, because there was a little hallway that went to her bathroom. And I was behind the dresser, and it was dark in her room, but it was light in the hallway. And so she was like, "Eli," and like she like walked into the hallway, and I like jumped out and she was like maybe like 5 feet away, and I screamed at the top of my lungs, and she freaked out. She like screamed and fell to the floor, and I was like, "I'm so sorry." And it was hilarious. I was dying laughing. It was so good. And finally, the most stupid thing you've ever done. This kind of goes into the whole embarrassing thing. I mean, you could probably use that same story. I'm gonna come with something else. Not because it's the most stupid thing we've ever done. Actually, wasn't even my fault, but just because it's probably left the biggest scar on me. I mean physically, not mentally or metaphorically. I was chasing my dad down a gravel hill on a bike, and we were going really fast, and I hit a rock, or I did something. I was going way too fast, or I think I slammed on my front brake really hard, and I flipped over my handlebars, and I got like just like hit my right knee super hard. And I'll actually show you. I got this scar from it. This little thing right here. There's 3 lines right here, and it was about like 18 stitches, I want to say. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. But it was an alright experience. So anyways, that's gonna do it for this Q&A. This was actually a lot of fun. I'm kind of bummed I didn't get any questions, but I mean, I can't complain. I only have 72 subscribers. So thank you very, very much for watching. I will have more scripted, actual edited stuff in the future, I promise. I recorded something with my friend William, and actually I have 2 friends named William. I recorded something with one of my Williams, and then I recorded another thing with a different William. So I just have to do some edits and reshoots and stuff like that. So that stuff should be coming soon, really soon. I'm trying. Anyways, so if you guys liked this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and share it, and go ahead and put in a comment below. Whatever, you could even say, "Wow, dude, you fucking suck. Die, please." And finally, just subscribe. Thank you all for watching. Bye-bye.